Trump's executive cabinet team of rivals shows strong leadership. Trump's executive cabinet team of rivals shows strong leadership. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Lately, within the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been hearing and seeing in the news, in the mainstream media, online news, independent news, Twitter, blogs, vlogs. We've been hearing from every vehicle of media. We've been hearing stories and about Trump's picks for his executive cabinet. He's offered Nikki Haley, governor of South Carolina, the role of UN ambassador. He's offered retired 4-star General Joe Mad Dog Mattis role of Secretary of Defense. He's offered Dr. Ben Carson role of Secretary of HUD, Housing and Urban Development. He's offered Congressman Tom Price of Georgia, the role of Secretary of Health and Human Services. He's offered Reince Priebus, RNC Chairman Reince Priebus, role of White House Chief of Staff. He's offered a former Breitbart employee. He's an attorney. His last name is Brannon. I think Brannon, Brannon, as White House Chief Counsel. He is choosing some really good people to help govern this nation. He's also offered Lieutenant General Michael Flynn the role of National Security Advisor. So thus far, President-elect Donald J. Trump, he has selected and chosen some very good people to help govern and lead our nation, the greatest nation on the world, the greatest nation in the world, on planet Earth, the United States of America. Oh, and I can't forget that he also offered Mitch McConnell's wife, U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. He's offered Mitch McConnell's wife, Elaine Chao, the role of Secretary of Transportation. Secretary of Transportation, that's currently Anthony Fox of North Carolina's role. Currently, the Secretary of Transportation is Anthony Fox, who I really can't tell you what he's done in that role, because he pushed same-sex marriage more than he pushed transportation. But that role has since been offered to Elaine Chao, the wife of Mitch McConnell, for the Trump administration after he is sworn in. And they are all confirmed. Of course, these individuals must be confirmed by Congress, by the U.S. Senate. But I don't foresee any real problems there. Now, the history and the background and the achievements and qualifications of these individuals, it displays a strong show of leadership skills for Mr. Trump. And it also shows that he's serious about getting up and running the first day after being sworn in. Already, before he's even been sworn in, President-elect Trump saved more than 1,000 jobs in the state of Indiana. I repeat, already. The man hadn't even been sworn in yet. He's already saved more than 1,000 jobs in the state of Indiana before he has been sworn in. That is amazing. That shows that he cares about this nation, about this country. So, with his pick of executive cabinet leaders thus far, I can feel assured that we're headed in the right direction under Mr. Trump's administration. Now, let's discuss Petraeus, General Petraeus, who we know and saw in the media that he pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge dealing with the selling of classified information. When he was set up by a U.S. Army officer, female officer, named Paula Broadwell. That was a setup. I don't care what y'all say. Now, she didn't make General Petraeus give her any classified information, but he's a man. And most men can be tempted by a beautiful woman. So, in this instance, do I believe that Paula Broadwell deceived General Petraeus and that he was perhaps a setup? I mean, a victim of some kind of setup? Yeah, I do. Nevertheless, he still did it, and he still pled guilty, and to a conviction. Dealing with treason is somewhat like treason when you sell off classified information that belongs to the U.S., to the nation in which you work for or represent. It's an act of treason, so to speak. Rumor has it that Mr. Trump is considering offering General Petraeus the job of Secretary of State. That's what the rumor is. Allegedly, Mr. Trump is considering offering General Petraeus the role of Secretary of State. It's either Petraeus or Romney. I'm going to say neither one. And here's why. Mitt Romney, during the 2016 election and campaign season, Mitt Romney went after Mr. Trump in an unprecedented manner. Mitt Romney attacked Donald Trump in an unprecedented manner as a fellow Republican. Mitt Romney is a Republican. Donald J. Trump is a Republican. And Mitt Romney, he didn't just disagree with Donald J. Trump on certain issues, as any human being can disagree. Mitt Romney viciously and vehemently and sincerely attacked Mr. Trump, like with such veracity and hostility. It's almost like Mitt Romney hated Donald Trump. This was more than just politics. This was personal. So if I was Trump, I would not offer Mitt Romney the role of Secretary of State or any other job, because maybe he can't trust him. Now, let's talk about Petraeus. I wouldn't offer, if I was Mr. Trump, I wouldn't offer the job of Secretary of State to General Petraeus, because General Petraeus, even though he was set up, I believe he was set up, even though he was, may have been wrongly persecuted, somewhat, because, under the Obama administration, a lot of this has been political. A lot of this persecution of political figures like General Petraeus and former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell, some of those were political hits. And Bob McDonnell has since been cleared by the Supreme Court. It was discovered that his arrest and so forth and conviction was all political. But Petraeus did what he did and pled guilty to it. Now, there was no gun held to his head, literally, but there may have been some stuff that Obama had on him, but nevertheless, he still did it. General Joe Mad Dog Mattis, I believe that General Joe Mad Dog Mattis would have died first rather than betrayed his country. I believe that if there had been General Mad Dog Mattis, he would have died first rather than sold out his country like Petraeus did. And Petraeus is a good general. Don't get me wrong. The man is a great general. But he did what he did. And because of that, even though he's a great general, I would not trust the role of Secretary of State to General Petraeus. I would choose someone else. Maybe Bob Corker of Tennessee, someone like that. But it wouldn't be General Petraeus. And I still respect General Petraeus. I still respect Mitt Romney. I repeat, I still have respect for General Petraeus and Mitt Romney, but I wouldn't offer them the job of Secretary of State for the USA. Now, notice how these people that Donald Trump has chosen, they are a team of rivals. They don't have to agree on every subject. Donald Trump doesn't need to be surrounded by yes men and yes women. I repeat, no good leader, including President-elect Donald Trump, needs to be surrounded by yes men and yes women. When you surround yourself with yes men and yes women, who's going to hold you accountable when you're wrong or when you're headed down a dark road of destruction? And any leader who wants to surround himself or herself with yes men and yes women is not a leader that I will trust my life with, because you'll say yes just to please people who are in your inner circle without looking out for your fellow man, because you want to please only those in your inner circle. And you want to hear what they want to tell you versus hearing something that's opposite of what you need to hear that will save you from going down a dark road of destruction. So Donald Trump has a team of rivals. He hasn't chosen people that are yes men and yes women. You know, Abraham Lincoln did that. Abraham Lincoln was, I believe, the first elected president to have chosen an executive team of rivals for his, executive cabinet. Now, when Obama chose a quote-unquote team of rivals, the mainstream media loved it. When President Obama chose people like Hillary Clinton and others to work on his executive cabinet, the mainstream media ate it up and drank the Kool-Aid. They loved it. But Donald Trump is electing or selecting and picking people who are rivals, and the mainstream media has a problem with it. But you know what? Who cares? Like Nancy Pelosi talking about Ben Carson not being qualified to be Secretary of HUD. Nancy Pelosi, with all due respect, Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, with all due respect, because you have been in Congress for a very long time, with all due respect, for you to say that Dr. Ben Carson is not qualified to be Secretary of HUD, I disagree. The man is qualified. He's qualified because he loves people and he grew up in public housing, or should I say affordable housing, in the inner city of Detroit. Did you grow up in the inner city of Detroit or the inner city of Baltimore, Nancy Pelosi? No, you did not. You've been in politics all your life because Nancy Pelosi's father was a politician. I repeat, for you all who don't know that, Nancy Pelosi's father was a politician. She's been in politics all her life, from a child all through as a 70-year-old woman. So her opinion on Dr. Carson not being qualified to be Secretary of HUD, I take with a grain of salt. Now, the mainstream media needs to look at the fact that a team of rivals doesn't mean that you're not qualified to do the job. So far, I'm very pleased with Donald J. Trump's pick for his executive cabinet. And I'm confident that he knows what he's doing. This country is going to be set straight. This country and our military, this country, the USA, the good old USA, and our military is going to be set straight. And there'll be prosperity for everyone, including black people, Latinos. Everyone will prosper because Donald Trump is not a special interest group person. I repeat, Donald J. Trump cannot be bought and sold. He's not a special interest group type person, and he's not a career politician. Trump is not a career politician, so he won't sell our country down the road for 30 pieces of silver. Donald J. Trump's executive cabinet team of rivals shows strong leadership. You have to agree. Whether you like Trump or not, you have to agree and respect what he's doing thus far in selecting strong, qualified people to work close beside him in the executive cabinet to govern our country, even if they are a team of rivals. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.